If you're taking metformin and exercising regularly but not seeing the results you'd expect, there might be a reason for that. New research is showing that metformin, the most commonly prescribed diabetes medication in the world, may actually be blocking some of the beneficial effects of exercise. And almost nobody is talking about this. I'm Debbie Marini, former endocrinology nurse practitioner who prescribed metformin for years, and today I'm sharing research that honestly made me rethink everything I thought I knew about this medication. If you're on metformin, you need to hear this. Here's what the science is showing. A study published in Diabetes Care looked at people with prediabetes who were exercising regularly. Half were taking metformin, half weren't. The researchers found something shocking. The people taking metformin got significantly fewer metabolic benefits from their exercise compared to those not on the medication. Specifically, the metformin group had smaller improvements in insulin sensitivity from exercise, less increase in mitochondrial function, that's your cell's energy powerhouses, reduced cardiovascular fitness gains, and less improvement in VO2 max. It was as if metformin was somehow interfering with the body's natural adaptive response to exercise. And here's the mechanism. Metformin works partly by activating something called AMPK, an enzyme that regulates energy metabolism. But guess what also activates AMPK? Exercise. So when you're on metformin and you exercise, you're essentially getting a blunted response because the medication is already doing artificially what exercise is trying to do naturally. Your body doesn't get to build that metabolic adaptation. It doesn't get to strengthen those pathways. The training effect is diminished. Now remember from our last video, exercise is one of the most powerful tools for rebuilding your gut microbiome. But here's what we're learning. Metformin also changes your gut bacteria. In fact, many researchers now believe that metformin's blood sugar lowering effects come primarily from the effects on the gut microbiome, not just from its direct effects on the liver. So if you're taking a medication that alters your gut bacteria in one direction and you're exercising to improve your gut bacteria in another direction, they may be working against each other. Some studies even suggest that metformin can reduce the diversity of gut bacteria, and we know that diversity is crucial for metabolic health. It's like you're trying to garden, planting beneficial seeds through exercise, but the metformin is changing the soil conditions in ways that make it harder for those seeds to grow. Here's what frustrates me about this. In all my years as an endocrinology nurse practitioner, we never talked about this interaction to patients. Not once. We'd prescribe metformin, tell people to exercise and eat better, and send them on their way. We thought we were giving them every tool to succeed, but we didn't understand that the medication might actually be undermining the very lifestyle changes we were recommending. And look, I'm not saying metformin is bad or that nobody should take it. For some people in certain situations, it serves a purpose. But what I am saying is that there's a different approach. An approach that works with your body's natural healing mechanism instead of overriding them. An approach where you can build real metabolic health, the kind that doesn't require medication to maintain. Here's what almost nobody explains to you. Metformin manages your blood sugar. It doesn't heal the underlying problem. The underlying problem is the chronic inflammation and gut dysfunction that created insulin resistance in the first place, what I call the metabolic inflammation loop. And here's what the research shows. When you address the root cause through targeted nutrition, stress management, and strategic movement, without the interference of medications that blunt your body's adaptive responses, people can reverse their insulin resistance completely. Not manage it, reverse it. That means that your cells become sensitive to insulin again. Your pancreas doesn't have to work overtime. Your gut produces the metabolites that regulate metabolism naturally. Your mitochondria function properly. And here's the beautiful part. When you build that real metabolic health, you get the full benefits of exercise. Your gut microbiome responds. Insulin sensitivity improves. Your energy increases. Your body gets to do what it was designed to do. Adapt, heal, and thrive. Now let me be really clear about something. If you're currently on metformin, do not just stop taking it because you watched this video. That's between you and your prescribing provider. What I'm offering is a different path forward, one where you can work to address the root cause so that eventually, with your doctor's guidance, you may not need that medication anymore. I've had clients come off metformin. I've had clients reduce their doses. And I've had clients stay on it while we work on the deeper issues. There's no judgment here, just information and options that you might not have known that you have. One client, Roger, had been on metformin for 3 years. His A1C hovered around 6.5 despite exercising 5 days a week and eating what he thought was a diabetic diet. He was frustrated because he felt like he was doing everything right but barely maintaining, let alone improving. We focused on healing his gut inflammation, rebuilding his microbiome with whole food carbohydrates, and optimizing his exercise for metabolic adaptation rather than just calorie burn. Within 4 months, his A1C was 5.6, and his doctor agreed to taper him off metformin. 6 months later, off medication completely, his A1C was 5.4 and stable. He wasn't managing his blood sugar anymore. He was actually reversing his insulin resistance. And that's what becomes possible when you address the root causes instead of just managing symptoms. So if you're on metformin and wondering if there's another way, or if you're exercising and not seeing the results that you expect, or if you're just tired of managing symptoms instead of actually healing, I want you to know that root cause reversal is possible. I've created a free training that walks you through exactly how the metabolic inflammation loop works and the 3-phase approach to breaking it. The same approach as my clients use to reduce or eliminate their need for medication. You can watch the training at the link in the description below. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal when you give it what it actually needs. Sometimes that means stepping back from symptom management and asking, what's the root cause and how do I address that? Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button because we're going deep on root cause reversal, gut health, and real metabolic healing on this channel. I'll see you in the next one.